Hey everyone, welcome to Tech Edu, the podcast where we take a closer look at digital tools that make teaching science more engaging, more accessible, and more fun.
Whether you're a teacher, a student, or just curious about educational tech, we're here to help you figure out what works, what doesn't, and what might save you time and budget in the classroom. If you're new here, I'm Rich.
And I am Claire. We're both education majors who are passionate about finding free, reliable, and easy-to-use tools that make science lessons more interactive and more meaningful. Today, we're reviewing a website called NCBioNetwork Virtual Microscope Simulation. This is perfect for biology teachers or anyone teaching microscopy, even without access to a physical lab.
And we both had a chance to try it ourselves.
Which makes it even more fun because now we're gonna take turns asking each other some questions about the simulation and walk through what it's like to use it.
Exactly. We'll break it down by looking at what really matters, things like cost, features, usability, and how well it works in a classroom setting. So, let's jump right in.
So, Bridge, here is our first question. How much does this simulation cost?
It's totally free to use. No license, no subscription, and not even a sign up.
So, even installations, right?
Yeah. You just open it up in browser and it runs.
What about extra hardware or servers? Are there any hidden charges there?
None. It works on basic school desktops, laptops, or even Chromebooks. No additional hardware or any server space needed.
And no installation support needed because, well, there's nothing to install.
Also, since it's intuitive, there's no need to pay for any training. Teachers or the student can learn it just by exploring it. I'd say that it just takes 5 to 10 minutes in order for the user to feel confident using it.
So, no costing fees, customizing charges, and developers needed, right?
Yes, you're right. It's a fixed tool, so no source code or any custom mods needed. And it already fits to the classroom needs. So, as a user, you don't need to do anything but to use it right away.
And since it runs online and free, you could literally have a class of 30 or more using it simultaneously without scaling cost.
Okay, Claire. How about any operating costs? Are there any ongoing maintenance?
None at all. It's a web-based, so no installation, no updates, and no IT developers needed. Super low maintenance.
So, does that mean that there are no any annual maintenance charges?
Yes, exactly. That's right. So it is cost-free year-round.
Okay. So, how about if you add or update some data?
It's really not applicable here because the slides and features are already built in and static. And mind you, they are already quite varied and useful for a basic microscopy. Now, let's get into what it actually does. So, upon using the website, for you, what stood out the most?
The thing that stood out for me the most is how realistic it is. Like, you don't just click buttons and watch animations. You actually get to use the microscope. You can manipulate it by switching the objective lenses from 4 times, 10 times, 40 times, and even 100 times. You can adjust the light and use the fine and coarse knob to focus the image. It feels like you're operating a real one.
Right? And the fact that it includes actual prepared slides like onion root tips, blood cells, skeletal muscle, even bacteria cells, that's huge. Students can explore a variety of cell types without needing a physical samples or slides itself.
And what really got me was how practical it is. When you switch to 100 times lens and you try to use the coarse knobs, it gives you a warning. And if you ignore it, boom! The simulation will show a crack on the lens, just like what could happen in a real lab.
Yes, It's such a clever way to teach microscope safety. Students, they don't just learn how to use the microscope, but also how not to damage it, which is something even some first-time lab users don't realize until it's too late. Because why? Ang mga gamit is mahal jud siya, especially the microscope lens, super mahal.
And for teachers, it's perfect for demos, pre-lab practice, or even as a substitute for the real thing if the microscopes are not available.
Does it support common file formats?
Not really relevant here. It is not for uploading or exporting files. It is a self-contained simulation.
Good point. How about permissions or security?
There is no user login or any data collection, so no need for anything that like managing accounts or permissions. That makes it very safe and simple to use.
And since that it doesn't store or share data, there's no need to worry about data hosting or server location.
Yes, exactly. It is hosted by the NCBioNetwork and they own the tool. So we're just accessing it like any other educational website. So Claire, would you say that the website is reliable?
Definitely. It's been around for years and it is widely used by biotech educators, and it is pretty stable, it loads quickly, and it doesn't crash.
So any idea if it gets updated?
Major updates, probably not often because the website it's pretty complete for its purpose.
Okay, so talking about usability, are there any help features or guides?
Absolutely. There's actually a helpful guide section that covers everything from the introduction and overview to microscope care, and even basic terminologies. You can also read it there. And when you're using the virtual microscope, you'll notice that there are little question mark icons on the screen. You just have to click on them and you'll get a quick explanation, tips, or even instruction to help you out. So honestly, it's super user-friendly and most people won't even need a full tutorial to figure things out.
And how much training do you think a student would need?
Pretty much none. I believe that once they use it, they can figure it out already. So Bridge, going to the vendor's info. Who made this again?
It is made by NCBioNetwork, part of the North Carolina Community College system. They've been developing free science education tools for years.
And they're pretty stable as a vendor, right?
For sure. They are long-standing, well-supported, and well-known in the biotech education world.
Do they offer support?
There is no live support, but the tool is simple enough that you won't probably need it. And their website has a contact option if anything comes up. And since they are a public education initiative, they are not going anywhere anytime soon.
So, if you're a science teacher looking for a virtual lab tool that's free, simple, and effective, the NCBioNetwork Virtual Microscope checks all the boxes.
No cost, no setup, low-tech requirements, and great educational value. It's reliable, secure, and ready to use anytime.
Whether you're prepping students for labs, teaching online, or just looking for an engaging classroom activity, this is definitely worth adding to your teaching toolkit.
Thanks for hanging out with us today here in TechTalk Edu. Be sure to check out this simulation at ncbionetwork.org.
And don't forget to tune in next time. We'll be back with more digital tools for science education that are actually worth your time.